want to make sure that I acknowledge the sponsor of the show, Tiege Hanley, because Tiege Hanley sent me this new pack. They sent me the new Tiege pack, so I just literally pulled the paper out, got it out of the mail, and I started going through it, and I got a little bit more excited than I should. You know what I'm saying? So they did send me the Tiege pack, and I don't even know what this is yet. So I'm assuming this is what you get when you first order your Tiege, and I don't know what this is. Oh, this is dope. This is absolutely dope. Is this a nail kit? Ladies, get this for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. This is free. This just comes with it. 30% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Literally. Oh, snaps. I didn't know that they were sending it like this. Real talk. So this is the nail kit that they sending you. All right. So now you ain't looking like a dusty. This is a free gift straight from Tiege for the people that ordered the Tiege. They got the small one for the little hands like mine's. They got the big joints for your toenails. And then they got the joints at the bottom too. You know what I'm saying? For y'all that's a little bit more crustier than usual. All right. So that's one of the free gifts that Tiege got inside of the pack. And then what is this? Says squeeze a quarter size amount of Tiege Hanley body wash on the center of the wet bristles. Lather, scrub, rinse, and repeat for the perfectly satisfying wash every time. So that's inside of there also, right? Ooh, I can get my rubber ducky on right here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege for sending me that uncomplicated skincare for men. And then what we got in here? We got the actual Tiege pack, right? So this is the normal Tiege pack, but then they gave me the supersized joint for the people. They wanted me to show the people exactly what they got when they ordered that first Tiege pack, when you're getting your 30% off your first order, and then you get your free gifts. You get 2 free gifts, and then the 20% off for life. So the 20% off for life is a new thing. And dang, I ain't even got my keys on me to open this up. Maybe I can use the little nail clipper thing. I ain't got to buy no nail clipper for my new joint downtown. And then you get all of the washes, all of the scrubs, all of the AM, the PMs, and all of that stuff. So you got the whole thing inside of there for you to make sure you take care of yourself. But you got to make sure you take care of it every day, right? We don't want to miss days. We don't want to be looking like dusties. It does not absolve you from being able to make sure that you brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. It don't fix the teeth problem. Don't fix you ironing your clothes. Don't fix you being able to take care of your business. But it absolutely makes sure that your skin is phenomenal, even when you go in between shaves. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege Hanley. We absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to hold us down. I might do an official Tiege commercial, but I like just talking authentically to the people. I like giving the people the authentic look of what it is that you're dealing with, and I want you to hear from me personally, because anybody can do that little pitch and they can make some little videos, but very few of us can actually speak to the products of exactly what it is that you're supposed to use. So yeah, Tiege Hanley, 30% off your first order, and then 20% off for life. That's the Anton Daniels pack, 20% off for life. Using any other Tiege pack, make sure that you go ahead and let that go. And make sure you tap into the link. It's in the description and take care of it, all right? There we go. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host. It is Tuesday, April 30th, 2024, year of our Lord, and it is a phenomenal Tuesday. Let me give a round of applause for everybody that's tuning into the show today. Thank you guys for continuing to hold me down. Thank you for always adding value into what we do over here on the Millionaire Morning Show. It does not go unappreciated. and you guys are absolutely awesome. I want to give a couple of acknowledgments on Cash App specifically. Number one, I want to acknowledge Mike That Dude as usual. And then I also want to make sure that I acknowledge my guy, Michael. Shout out to my dog, Michael, on here consistent every single day. You guys are absolutely awesome. And I got a full show for you guys today. I do have a full show. But before I get into the full show, let me get some housekeeping out of the way. So first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Tiege Hanley. Again, 30% off your first order plus 20% off for life. You guys know that Tiege Hanley has been a long-time sponsor of what we got going over here on the Millionaire Morning Show. So that's awesome. Also, we got the Patreon. Make sure you tap into that. Stock Club is tomorrow morning, so that should be absolutely awesome. But yeah, the Patreon link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Shout out to the Patreon. And then you guys, I think that you guys are absolutely awesome. I love you. I appreciate you. You add so much value into my life. Shout out to everybody that tuned into the show last night. So that was great. And life is good. Life is absolutely awesome. Before I get into the show, and I don't usually talk about this type of stuff, and I'm not going to talk about it extensively on here. I am going to get right into the show because we got a lot to cover today. I go through my emails and I'm scanning through and I'm looking at the different things that you guys are sending me. And one thing that you guys sent me was a live stream apparently that was done yesterday or something like that. I don't know. It was done recently, but it was a live stream of a girl that used to be on a network, or not used to be on a network, but would show up occasionally on a network that I used to be a part of. And her name is B. Taylor. And so I found it hilarious. And I decided to throw it on for I don't know. I must have had it on for 45 minutes this morning when I was getting ready. So I, jumped in the shower, threw it on my phone, and I was like, interesting cover photo. Let me go ahead and see what this is like. So I went ahead and I checked it out, and I listened to about 45 minutes of the live stream or whatever. I don't plan on listening to it anymore. But maybe I should. I think I'm going to save this conversation for after hours. I'm going to save this conversation for after hours tonight. So tonight we got after hours. I'm going to give y'all my authentic thoughts. Let me give y'all a little bit of advice before I give y'all my thoughts tonight. Make sure y'all tune in to after hours. I think that it's going to be pretty hilarious. Now, I got a good show that I'm thinking about putting together for you guys. Let me say this, though. Y'all love putting y'all personal business out there in these streets. Oh, if you go back and you listen to my Wednesday night show, go back and listen to my last Wednesday night show on the Anton Daniels channel. I told you guys, I said, listen, all of these women, all of these people, y'all follow these people that don't show no results, that don't have the results. You guys are following people that can't give you any insight from a financial perspective. They don't show you no receipts. They not married, none of this stuff. But for some reason, somehow, y'all make them y'all savior, and y'all decide to go and cover these people and follow them. And then you put all of your backing behind them and you put your money up behind them. And they have no kind of history of success. And more importantly, the minute that people start to come to the forefront of the congregation and say, hey, this was my experience with them, it all goes to hell. But like I said, I'm going to save my thoughts. I might talk about it a little bit on after hours or whatever, but one thing about it, and two things is for certain, y'all love to put y'all personal business out there and get involved with people. And that's how I know y'all not used to nothing. Y'all not used to success. Y'all not used to doing things a certain way. You don't know nothing about NDAs. You don't know nothing about none of that. Y'all don't have the character to go along with it. And to think, and that's why I always follow my instincts. I follow when God talks to me. And to think that y'all actually wanted me to debate this person? For what? All you got to do is wait and watch and let them all implode, and they'll throw each other under the bus. I've been watching this happen for years. Nobody that ever known me in real life, nobody that has ever kicked it with me in real life has ever came online and said anything negative about me whatsoever. Nobody in real life could ever say I did bad business, that I had a bad temper, that I wasn't exactly who I said that I was in real life, that I don't have the receipts, they can say, hey, I don't like him, or I don't like the fact that he not blackety black or something like that. But I've been doing this for 10 years. And I always challenge people. I say, hey, listen, if it's somebody that can say that Anton do bad business, or he be slut, you know what I'm saying, slutting these hoes out, or he had an affair or something, find him and bring him to the front of the congregation. I challenge you to do so. Your favorite preacher can't do it. Your financial gurus won't show no receipts on what their bank accounts look like. Your relationship status queens and kings ain't married, and they all got multiple different divorces, and their kids apparently is sleeping on pee-wee mattresses and stuff. And so, eventually everybody shows themselves and everybody falls. And they show themselves to who they be. They talk nice. They can talk about it. But very few people can stand the test of time and show you who they really are and live their life like an open book and show you the receipts. And I'm sure these people will go on and they'll have a great life and do all of the things and continue to live stream or whatever. But same story, different characters, different day and time. We all know what it is. But I promise you this, I will be your leader. I will be at the forefront of the congregation, making sure that I show y'all the receipts. We will continue to do the work. We will continue to run it up in the bag chasers. We're going to continue to be a reflection of the thing that we advocate for. You may not like how I say it, but you can't argue with the results. And the only thing we care about is the results over here. Can I get a round of applause for my bag chasers? Mary Alonzo, say it. You will know them by their fruits. You will know them by their fruits. Receipts. Require the receipts before you start to have a conversation and automatically just willy-nilly give your money away and willy-nilly give your backing away and because they make you look bad. These people make you look bad every single day. They make y'all look bad because you give them your subscriptions, you give them your loyalty, you pledge your resources to them, and then they disappoint you because when you pull back that curtain and you see that Pee-wee mattress, and then they're going to have the nerve to tell me that they put my name in their book. I should get my lawyer on top of that. What is my name doing in their book? I don't want to be associated with nobody that sleep on a Pee-wee mattress. We're going to get to it. We're going to talk about it on After Hours. If y'all not subscribed to After Hours, make sure you do so. If you're not subscribed to the Millionaire Morning Show, make sure you do so and turn on your notifications. Or not. And make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Y'all ready to go ahead and get started with the show? Are y'all ready to go ahead and get started with the show? Because there is nobody that is doing it the way that we doing it. And I am nothing without you. And so I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for holding me down. Let me read this super chat really quickly. Jay Johnson says, good morning to the Chasers. Hey, AD, are we still going to cover what to do after the U.S. Department of Education on your credit has been paid back? Oh, and if it is a good idea to open more credit cards. I got a couple subjects that I have earmarked to talk about on the Patreon. One of them is credit cards because you guys know, I think that credit cards are a very, very, very dangerous game for people that don't understand it. It's a very dangerous game. I will give my thoughts and I will teach you guys how it is that I leverage cards and credit in order to continue to win. This very system, this monitor, this Apple monitor, the 27-inch, the biggest one you can get, this MacBook Studio, a lot of the stuff that I have all came from points on credit cards. So I would be doing you guys a disservice if I didn't expose you to how I leverage credit. Because I don't use it in the same way that people traditionally use it. I don't use it to finance things that I don't need. But at the same time, I do think that I have to be very careful and responsible because a lot of people will go out there and they'll get credit cards and they'll mess themselves up. And then they'll be spending a lifetime trying to dig themselves out of the hole. So I'm very careful about my language and my verbiage. when I speak about certain things, but I will do a video and break that down along with some other subjects that you guys want me to break down inside of the Patreon. So I will deep dive into that, and that's a phenomenal question. So I'll address it. I'll address it for the bag chaser. Shout out to you, my friend. I appreciate you for continuing to hold me down. Let's see. BZE says, hey, AD, remember that video said LeBron was worried about squatters? Do you think he'll leave LA after they take over his new house? Well, let's pray that we don't just have squatters taking over LeBron James' new house. And I would like to think that Los Angeles would be a little bit more fervent, considering that LeBron James is a celebrity, and it would make them look bad if they didn't get on top of that. But no, I think that he'll always have a home in LA. I think that LeBron James will always have a home in LA. You don't build a house from scratch and then leave it. I don't know if he's ever even revisited the house that he built in in Akron, Ohio. That's interesting. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to get to it? No. See, EJ Johnson says, as long as you don't max them out and pay in full. Nope. What are my thoughts on Dave Ramsey saying that you can't win with credit cards? I largely agree with the majority of what Dave Ramsey is saying with regard to credit cards. But again, I'll deep dive into that on the Patreon. I got 2 videos that I'm dropping on the Patreon in addition to Stock Club that we're doing tomorrow morning. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. You know what we do, y'all. Quick hits, man. It's all about the quick hits, baby. All about the quick hit. Quick hits is a segment of the show that we got to make sure that we bring these people to the front of the congregation and keep you guys informed on what's going on out here in these streets, man. I will be reading super chats throughout the show. But first and foremost, let's see what we got here. Oh, Columbia. They said enough is enough. They're now beginning to suspend students that refuse to remove themselves from doing the right thing and following the rules when it comes to protesting on campus. Take a look.
Now to that breaking news, Columbia University suspending students. The university has a tense standoff today throughout the Columbia University campus. Students were given until 2 p.m. this afternoon to leave the encampment or face suspension. They refused.
That deadline also prompted large protests outside the campus. This, as the university says, it will not meet the key demand from protesters to divest from Israel. And the university president also adds, graduation will go on.
Lots to unpack tonight. Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim, live at the campus on Morningside Heights with the latest breaking news. Stefan.
Well, Bill and Liz, as promised, Columbia started suspending those students who did not leave the encampment by 2 p.m. They were bracing for that, but if they expected that today's announcement and deadline would calm things down, that most certainly did not happen. If anything, it was the most energized these protests have been since they started. Columbia University's announcement, it will not divest from Israel, breathing new life into the student demonstrations, with hundreds of students marching around the encampment on campus.
This is a movement, an anti-war movement. We have sparked similar Gaza solidarity encampments across the nation and even across the globe.
The Ivy League school also telling student protesters if they didn't leave the encampment by 2 p.m. today, they're risking suspension or probation until next June. Students say they're also being threatened with evictions from housing and possible expulsion. Protesters say they're ready to escalate.
We will not be moved unless by force. This university previously divested from apartheid South Africa. This university had a movement against the Vietnam War. This university understands what it means to be principled, but it is buckling.
The university, meanwhile, is exploring alternative internal options, indicating calling the NYPD likely isn't one of those options. The school will also only allow on-campus protests by application and with 2 days' notice in authorized locations. Columbia says it also offered to develop an expedited timeline for review of new proposals from students by the Advisory Committee for Socially Responsible Investing, the body that considers divestment matters. Demonstrators calling that offer insincere.
While the administration offered us a timeline for review of divestment proposals, they refused to give us any commitment that the ultimate decision would be binding.
This Jewish student says last week he and his brother were verbally and physically harassed on campus. But once the school locked out the outside agitators, it has been better. He supports this peaceful pro-Palestinian rally, he says, but says he's not backing down.
It's important that I be here to show other Jewish and pro-Israel students that we're not going anywhere. We're not going to be intimidated off our campus, even though we experience discrimination and harassment.
These people is walking around with flags that's not American, demanding things, setting up tents. Where's all of these tents coming from? Who's giving this money? And they basically playing bully ball tactics on campus. This is crazy.
I'm a Jewish student at Columbia University. There's nothing anti-Semitic about protesting genocide, so that's why me and so many of my fellow Jewish students, as well as some amazing Jewish faculty, have been here in solidarity with Palestine, protesting for Palestine, because we understand that no one is free until everybody is free, and that's true for Palestinians too.
The university wants the encampment cleared by May 15th for graduation. Student protesters say they'll return to the table if the university discusses divestment. The university says it's not going to do that. So here we are again, apparently back at square one.
And they're at an impasse. So this is pretty interesting to see this junk just spiral out of control. One of the things that I wonder every single time, because the university, for example, is saying, well, we're going to start suspending students and expelling them or removing them from housing. How many of these people that's actually on campus are paid protesters? And more importantly, how many people are on this campus that's not even University of Columbia students? What do you have to lose? What can you threaten me with if I'm being paid and I'm not even really a student at Columbia? So we got to keep an eye on that. Again, I'm not going to expound on it. I don't want to go into it and deep dive into it, but I'm ultimately watching this to make sure that we can stay informed on what's happening out in these streets. The DA, the district attorney, actually issued apologies yesterday, and I want to play that for you guys, so take a look.
New developments about a New York district attorney who defied a police traffic stop, and it was all caught on camera. Monroe County DA Sandra Dorley posted a video apologizing for her actions.
Last Monday, I failed you and the standards that I hold myself to, and for that, I am so sorry. What I did was wrong, no excuses. I take full responsibility for my actions. I fell short of the values I've held for my entire 33-year career. I didn't treat this officer with the respect that he deserved. All police officers deserve respect.
The video went viral, showing Sandra Dorley ignoring the officer's orders, dismissing his warning that he would give her a speeding ticket, and then calling his chief during the stop. Dorley now says she is referring her case to a DA from another county for review. She said she will discipline herself because she would have disciplined any of her employees for behaving this way.
It doesn't even matter because she'll be fine and she'll do well and she's not going to have to worry about anything. And this will go away just like every other situation where there's something that somebody that makes the news. And all you got to do is wait a week or two and then stay out of trouble, and you're not going to have to worry about bringing yourself back to the front of the congregation. Nobody cares about if you discipline yourself. That's just all optics, and who knows and who cares. But she's issuing this apology because she want to make sure that she keep that $200,000 salary, which I would too if I was her. So I don't necessarily blame her for issuing an apology. I don't really know how you hold yourself accountable for that, but I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation. And then last but not least, homeowners in Los Angeles are revolting and speaking out against the fact that they was all protesting and looking to defund the police because now their homes are getting broken into multiple different times and nobody is coming to rescue them. Check it out.
A brazen burglary caught on surveillance camera in Mar Vista. Thieves seen making off with thousands of dollars worth of property, but this may not be the only home they targeted. Neighbors in the area say the break-in is just the latest in a series of burglaries targeting their community.
KTLA's Omar Lewis joins us live in Mar Vista with reaction from residents and the latest on that investigation. Omar.
Yeah, Micah and Cher, the LAPD confirms in just one day they responded to multiple burglaries here in the Mar Vista area.
That boy looked like he about to go and sing a Motown song. Ooh, sing it, boy. He looked just like he about to go on stage. Otis, ain't nobody come to see you. Got that wet set, no mustache, smooth face, and that makeup on. I see you, big dog. I see you. Ooh. I can't help myself. Listen, who's reporting the news is just as important as the news itself. That boy looked like he about to hit the stage I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. Boy, if you don't get that wet, where is your stash, man? I understand the hair. I know he going for a throwback. I know that's what he got going on. All I'm saying is I was trying today. I said today, because today is supposed to be a serious show, ladies and gentlemen. And I said to myself, I said, Anton, what does serious look like? And if you were on the national news and you had to do this on Good Morning America because you want your $30 million, what does that look like? How do you have to perform today? And I said, I'm going to stay focused. I'm not going to put myself in a position to start cracking jokes and start having conversations that have nothing to do with what we're talking about. But how can I focus when this man don't have no stash and he looked like he just came straight from the Temptations? I'm just saying. All I'm saying is, ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Oh, shoot. All right. Y'all ready to get back to the show? Quick hits. We on the first segment. We got to get at least through the first segment. Quick hits, ladies and gentlemen. Come on.
Residents now have their guards up after the same group of...
He probably ain't no older than 21, 22 years old. You know how them old school dudes... I'm sorry, just give me a second. Let me get these thoughts off. Do y'all know how these old school, like, no matter how young those guys were, when you look back at those old pictures of your father and your great-grandfather and stuff like that, they all look 54 and they was 23 years old. They all look 54 and they was 23 years old. I don't know why they look so seasoned. Why did all of those guys back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s look so seasoned? He looked just like those guys. That's seasoned. This guy probably ain't no older than 24, 25 years old, bro. Real talk.
Burglars appeared in multiple surveillance videos with the similar plan of attack. Residents of Mar Vista say surveillance videos like these from homes in their community showing burglars in action are being captured all too often.
For example, they'll break through glass, sliding glass doors and that sort of thing.
In multiple cases, the burglar's MO is the same.
Yep.
In broad daylight, someone, often a woman, walks up to a home with a mask on and knocks on the door. When no one answers, moments later, multiple men smash their way in. The same group is seen in several videos and pictures posted online.
It makes me feel pretty unsafe. Thankfully, I have a dog, but, not feeling great about that. I just installed, Amazon has those like Blink cameras. I just installed one of those outside my house.
The homeowner in this case tells us burglars hit his home on April 20th around 5:30 in the evening while the family was out to dinner. When they arrived back home, this was the aftermath. The victim says this is the fourth time they've been hit in 5 years.
I think that one of the worst feelings in the world is to have your personal belongings in your personal space that your kids and your wife and your family live in be molested. That's what they did. You go through all my stuff, you touch my stuff, you searching for stuff. I know that you can get the stuff back, so it's not necessarily about the stuff, but it's about the fact that I've been taken advantage of, and none of your stuff feel the same, and it just feels nasty. But this is the environment that y'all created because y'all wanted to make sure that y'all created laws that benefited the criminals instead of benefiting the people that pay their taxes and pay your salary.
With burglars taking off with everything from appliances to a gun. The LAPD confirms on April 20th alone, there were multiple burglaries reported in the Mar Vista area.
It's disturbing. It is. It's been on the uptake.
Richard Schultz has lived in Mar Vista for 35 years. He says just this past weekend, another of his neighbors became the victim of burglars.
First heard a siren, a police siren, and then we heard go by our house in a fast pace a car. It turns out that there was a break-in happening.
In a nearby burglary on Sunday, pictures and videos posted online show the criminals taking off in a white Honda SUV. For people who live in this community, they're taking steps to protect themselves.
Usual suspects. yellow eyes, big nose, chocolate face, Pooh Shiesty mask. If y'all see somebody walking around in 95-degree weather with a Pooh Shiesty mask and a hoodie on, they coming to get you, big dog. They coming to get you. Usual suspects, Pooh Shiesty mask, yellow eyes, they probably smell like weed. Where's the neighbors? Y'all don't have no community no more where y'all paying attention to what's happening to y'all neighbors. It only take one person, one situation, one person. I'm going to sit there and you're going to knock on my door and I'm going to just be very, very quiet. Act like I don't hear you. As soon as you come through that door, whoosh. As soon as you come through that door, whoosh. Everybody getting it. Oh man, I thought my life was in danger. He lunged at me. No cameras on the inside, big dog, only on the outside. No cameras on the inside. Soon as that brick come through that window and you stick your head in, whoosh. Got to start making examples out of people, bro. Got to start making examples out of people. Just be quiet. Let them come in. I know we had a conversation about gun laws yesterday. We're going to revisit it today. Yes, we are. And I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. But we going to get there. We going to get there. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your quick hits. All right, let's go ahead and get into the show. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to go from there. All right, first and foremost, I got to show my guy Chris Bout 7077 the love. Says, just showing support. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you for supporting the platform, big dog. Next Level MF says, is there a heart in the house tonight? Stand up, stand up. Oh, JP says, Kendrick dropped Euphoria. Need a review tonight. Okay, so we'll see it. Let's see what Kendrick dropped. Kenny, Kung Fu Kenny. Kung Fu Kenny, Euphoria. Let's see what the sentiment is. I'm not necessarily going to read it myself. A lot of people saying it's garbage. A lot of people saying it's garbage. All right, we're going to get into it tonight. Make sure y'all tune in to After Hours. We're going to get into it tonight. All right. I haven't heard it. I'm just reading the comments. A lot of people say that K. Dot asked for it, and he not really what he thought. It's not what they thought that it was. I want all of the D-Riders to not ride K. Dot no more if this is not what y'all, if this is not ether level, I don't want to hear nothing else from nobody. Nothing else from nobody. We gonna get there. After Hours tonight, it's gonna be some very uncomfortable conversations, and we gonna really, really get there. Shout out to you. All right, let's continue. Devastator says, not singing the Temptations. Yeah. We go all genres, all people, all performers, all years, all decades. Next Level MF says, he went to the barbershop and asked for the Tony Curtis. That boy was looking good on camera. You ain't got to lie, Craig. Says, spent the week in Detroit for my birthday in the NFL draft. Beautiful city. Thanks for the content, the great content. Mr. Daniels. I keep telling the people that this is where it's at. Yo, listen, if you are one of the people that is a good person, you're not a criminal, and you're looking for something on the come up, Detroit is where it's at. I've been telling y'all for years that y'all getting in. Y'all should have got in on the ground level. It's affordable. It's a lot of money. All of the stadiums is in the same space. Mike Epps just literally opened up a new comedy club, bar, and restaurant right down the street from me, right in downtown Detroit. Greektown popping, Midtown popping. Jobs is plentiful. Quicken Loans is right in the heart of the city. Y'all seen what it looked like during the NFL draft. We hosted over 750,000 people here over those 3 days of the draft. It's crazy. You got 4 opening up the new train station over in Corktown. That's popping, and it's starting to spread out. Livernois, we got the Avenue of Fashion. is popping. And so anybody that visit here, it's hard for them to say, nah, the city is popping. It's popping. It's really that deal. Brock says, Pastor Love offering homie look like he seems at Ray's Boom Boom on Thursdays and Saturdays night. Shout out to my dog Ray. Ray's Boom Boom and my dog Brock getting it in. Thank you. I appreciate you. A lot of people don't know what they're missing out on. By the time we catch it, because we looking for somebody else to say it's popular, it's going to be too late. And it's already going to be all taken over and it ain't going to be no more money to be made. And everybody is already going to be pushing you out. So it is. It's dope. It's dope. It's really, really, I'm telling y'all really missing out. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the show. I'm going to pivot for a moment because I seen this story today. So before we get into Tiffany Henyard and Kamala Harris being fake and Brandon Johnson not being invited to the funeral and women being laid off from their jobs and reactions to that and all of that good content, I want to revisit a conversation because it's so ironic that this popped up on my algorithm today. And the conversations that we was having yesterday, okay? So this is what's popped up on my algorithm today. Let me move this around a little bit. Hold on one second. Charlotte. What's going on, Charlotte? I'm going to read that super chat shortly. Shout out to Christian West. Slimmy, we got a conversation that we got to have about Kung Fu Kenny. I haven't heard the euphoria diss yet, but a lot of people telling me that it's very, very mid and it's not living up to expectations. We going to get there, Slimmy. Charlotte, what is happening over in Charlotte? I'm hearing that 8 officers were ambushed, hit when they went to serve a warrant. We're going to get into the story shortly. 8 officers were hit. Cultivator, you said I missed your son. All right, hold on. Wait. I got you. Let me get the Cultivator. Cultivator, I'm going to read that super chat shortly, Cultivator. I got you, big dog. I didn't forget about you. I got you. Charlotte, what the heck is going on? We got to bring y'all to the front of the congregation? Y'all can't get y'all city in order? Y'all can't get y'all city in order. 4 officers killed, 4 wounded. When I have these conversations on here and I say, listen, our police officers don't get enough appreciation. They don't get enough love. We always talking about what's happening in the community, but we don't uphold and show appreciation to the people that put their lives on the line every single day to make sure that we safe. Let's get into it, man. We got to deep dive into it. We're not going to hold off. We're not going to waste no more time. I had this coming on later, but I wanted to go ahead and get into this and have a conversation. This is one of the officers that was killed, Joshua Iyer. Check it out, y'all.
Breaking tonight, a 4th officer has died after being shot while serving a warrant in East Charlotte today. In all, 8 officers were shot in the operation. Within the last 15 minutes, we learned the names of 2 more of the officers who were killed. Sam Peloche and Alden Elliott were both 14-year veterans of the North Carolina Department of Adult Correction. Charlotte's police chief identified his fallen officer as Joshua Iyer. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gerald Owens.
And I'm Ashley Rowe. The U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force, along with local police, were serving that warrant. The police chief says the suspect used a high-powered rifle to shoot at the officers. Tonight, we're learning more about the members of the U.S. Marshal Service that died, including a deputy marshal and 2 members of the task force from the North Carolina Department of Corrections.
Reading that super chat shortly.
Heard Gerald talk about. 4 other officers are still being treated. WRAL has team coverage of this tragic shooting from Charlotte to right here at home. And we begin with WRAL's Monica Casey live in Charlotte as we learn more tonight about those who have been killed.
Yeah, Ashley, police still have a lot of this East Charlotte neighborhood inaccessible right now. They are focusing their investigation on a house that's further back behind me, and this is the closest we can get right now. We have learned the suspect who was the subject of the search warrant was killed. He was a 39-year-old man named Terry Clark Hughes.
They bussin'.
Rissa Rain captured this video of the standoff between law enforcement and suspects inside a home on Galway Drive.
Honestly, it's like something out of a movie.
She tells me she was late picking up her children from school because she couldn't get out of her neighborhood.
The SWAT went through about 3 rounds of shooting, 15 minutes. Shooting, 30 minutes. And then the last time was when everything ended. I saw the snipers walking back. So I'm like, oh, they must be done now.
NBC News obtained this Facebook video of the shooting. That series of rapid gunfire left neighbors here shaken hours later.
It's really scary to be in this environment.
The house across the street from me, the back of it got hit by a couple stray bullets. And I woke up to, it sounded like a war, and just kind of tried to figure out what was going on at that point.
One deputy U.S. Marshal was killed. 2 members of the North Carolina Department of Correction, who were also members of the Marshals Fugitive Task Force, were also killed. Sam Pelosi leaves behind a wife and 2 children. Alden.
A wife and 2 children. Gosh. Do y'all know that these is people too? I don't know if y'all think that the uniform then doesn't make them people for some reason. A wife and 2 children left behind. Now a widow. A widow. Gosh. Every day that y'all go outside, I remember when, and I'm not a police officer, so I'm never even going to remotely put myself in the same conversation or the category. But, you know, even being visible, I remember when I would go outside or I would leave or I would go out of town, and every single time that I would go out of town, before I left out the door, my wife would sit there and my wife and my daughter would come together. And they would both put their hands on me and they would pray for me and they would pray that the Lord keep me safe. And of course, we take all of the necessary precautions. So, you know, I got security with me and I got security flying with me. And, you know, these guys is like the freaking Secret Service. And we spend a lot of money. Part of my budget every single year is for security services. It's to make sure that I'm safe, that my family is safe, that the people around me are safe when they're with me. And all of that, right? Because you only got one chance, and it only takes one chance to slip up. Imagine these, because I can imagine what they feel, and obviously, I'm confident that I'm. Am I muted still? I don't know why this keeps going on mute. I got to make sure that this stays straight. Where did I start off? Where did I stop off at? Where did y'all stop hearing me? Where did y'all stop hearing me? When did I stop talking? Because I didn't actually click anything. It's the actual microphone that muted itself for some reason. So that was my fault. When did I stop talking? I'm curious. When did y'all stop hearing me? What was the last thing that y'all heard me say? No worries. We'll just get into it. So my point is that every time I ever went out the house or every time I ever had to go on and take care of some business, I would get security. My wife and my daughter would pray for me before I left, and they would pray that I return home. Now, take into consideration that I'm not a police officer and they're worried about me because obviously they want to make sure that I'm taken care of and they want me to get home safely. These guys go out and they put their life on the line every single day. They put their life on the line every single day. And they have wives and children that don't even know if they're going to make a traffic stop or serve a warrant, and if they're going to wind up coming home, or if they're going to get that phone call that say, hey, man, we got a flag that we got to deliver to the house. Some monster has taken out your husband, and your kids is going to be widowed, and that's just the end of the conversation. All for what? $50,000 starting sometimes, $60,000 starting sometimes, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000. These are the people that's a part of our community, and we've weaponized the fact that, or we've created this myth that these very same people, a lot of them actually grew up in our community, went to our high schools. They grew up in our community, they went to our high schools, they're serving the very communities that they live in. Because they put on the uniform, all of a sudden they become the enemy. And we don't hold the people in our community accountable. Y'all quick to hold the police officers accountable, but y'all don't hold the people in the community accountable. You know why you don't hold the people in the community accountable? Because you don't truly care about the community. You know who the fentanyl dealers are. You know who pushing the drugs. You know who's selling the guns. You know who out here making it unsafe. You know who got a bunch of pit bulls in their backyard that's going to eventually get loose and maul one of the children. We know about all of the bad things, but we go against the very people that protect us, and we have no love. This type of stuff gets no coverage. Let somebody knee on somebody's neck, or somebody do a scam or something like that, people going to be all over it. Celebrity news, Diddy, all of this stuff. But let a police officer, 4 of them, 8 of them hit, 4 of them is dead, and it gets no visibility and nobody talks about it at all. It's not popular. It's not popular to talk about.
Elliot leaves behind a wife and 1 child. Both men were 14-year Department of Adult Correction veterans. Charlotte Mecklenburg police officer Joshua Iyer was also killed. He leaves behind his wife Ashley and 3-year-old son Andrew. And 2 women who were in that house have been taken into custody. The police chief says one of them is 17 years old. In Charlotte, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
I'm Lena Tillett in the WRAL Live Center, and we're getting brand new video just showing how frightening that shootout was between the suspects in the home and police officers who responded. Officers will tell you it's always a dangerous endeavor to serve a warrant knowing that there are weapons in the home. But this brand new video tonight just shows the barrage of gunfire that was coming toward these officers. This video is coming from a neighbor's home. They were watching from their home as you see the officers here clearly in a defensive position, shooting and being shot at. Take a listen. That is just incredible to hear. Some witnesses saying that it felt like they were seeing a war, a battle play out. Governor Cooper was in Charlotte. Unclear if he went as a result of this shooting or if he was there for some other event. But we had learned from a spokesperson that he planned to meet with victims, family members. And the governor also spoke tonight. Take a listen.
It reminds us of the fact that these officers every day when they go out, whether they walk up to a car, whether they serve a warrant, violence can happen to them. And this was a brutal attack on these officers who were merely trying to serve a warrant.
Absolutely a brutal attack. The governor, one of many public officials, sending their condolences to the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department, as well as a number of local law enforcement coming together to share their wishes, well wishes for the department. Julian Grace joining us now live in Raleigh with that part of the story. Julian.
Yeah, Lena, moments after that shooting was confirmed, support started pouring in all across the state for the officers and also for their families.
This tragedy happened in one Charlotte neighborhood. 4 officers dead, 4 officers injured, and a state in grief.
Shortly after confirmation of the deaths and injuries, statements started popping up. This one from Governor Roy Cooper, who shared he's in contact with law enforcement in Charlotte and has offered up state resources. Wake County Sheriff Willie Rowe weighed in, sharing his department is ready to assist and provide assistance to Charlotte PD. And then we received this statement from Raleigh Police Chief Estella Patterson, who previously spent more than 25 years with the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. She said in part, quote, "As a former member of the CMPD, my heart breaks for the department and for the loss of the 3 task force members of the U.S. Marshals Service." Then Back the Blue NC created this GoFundMe. The organization supports the families of fallen officers, and the funds for this GoFundMe will support the Charlotte families left behind. Even if you can't donate, organizers of Back the Blue NC says there is still something we all can do.
And the main thing that you can do, every single person, when you're out there and you see an officer, stop them and say thank you. You would not believe how far that goes to that officer. You will make that officer's day. You could make that officer's week, and possibly, depending on the last time someone thanked him, you may make that officer's month.
Showing appreciation can go such a long way. Now, Back the Blue NC hopes to raise about $250,000 for those families. Reporting in downtown Raleigh, Julian Grace, WRAL News.
Just not enough. $250,000 for the families of 4 people that just got killed, not even close to being enough. And all of the friends and the family that was associated with him and all of his co-workers that'll never see these people again, it's insane, man. This is the house. Apparently, this is the aftermath of the house of where the law enforcement officers was trying to serve a warrant.
Attention all units. Attention all units. On behalf of Chief Jennings, I regrettably announce the end of watch for Officer Joshua Iyer. Please keep Officer Iyer's family, wife Ashley, 3-year-old son Andrew, his parents and North Tryon Division family in your prayers.
A final radio call made for Charlotte-Mecklenburg police officer Joshua Iyer. He's one of 4 law enforcement officers killed in a shooting yesterday. The other 3 were members of a U.S. Marshals task force, 2 of them identified as officers from the State Department of Corrections, Samuel Peloche and William Elliott. The identity of the deputy U.S. Marshal who died, though, has not been released.
4 other law enforcement officers were also hurt in that shooting. We do know at least 1 Charlotte-Mecklenburg officer is in critical condition. It all started yesterday when the task force went to a home in Charlotte to serve a warrant. The suspect was identified overnight as Terry Hughes Jr. He was wanted on 2 charges out of Lincoln County, which is just northwest of Charlotte: possession of a firearm by a felon and felony flee to elude arrest. Police say he shot at officers as they approached the home. Members of the task force fired back, hitting and killing him. Police say a second person in the home began firing at officers as well. There was a 3-hour standoff that ended with 2 people leaving the home and being taken in for questioning.
People in the Charlotte area still trying to wrap their mind around the violence and the tragedy. Condolences coming in from all across the country. Fox 8's Floriana Boardman joining us now live. Floriana, you're very close to where all this unfolded. Describe the scene to us.
Absolutely. It used to be a brick home. It used to be a brick home. They might as well just tear that down. They should tear that house down. Just completely remove it and tear it all the way down. That is insane.
Absolutely. Well, you can actually take a look at the house where this all happened. The front portion of the home is completely destroyed. You can see bricks everywhere, sheets, blankets, clothing falling out of the house. If you take a look up, you can see what looks like to be broken glass from bullet holes in those upper windows. It's just a reminder of the violent and tragic event that happened here. CMPD Police Chief Johnny Jennings says he can't recall anything worse that's happened in the Charlotte area. 2 of the 4 officers killed, Sam Peloche and William Elliott, worked for the state's Department of Adult Correction for 14 years. Peloche leaves behind a wife and 2 children. Elliott leaves behind a wife and 1 child. CMPD officer Joshua Iyer died last night after fighting for his life in the hospital for hours. He was a 6-year veteran with CMPD. Earlier this April, he was named the department's Officer of the Month. Iyer leaves behind a wife and a 3-year-old son. This is a loss the entire Charlotte community is mourning.
And the most that I can ask of our community is that we honor and respect them for all the work that they've done, all the work that we will do to make it possible for our city to be safer.
Absolutely tragic. Again, we don't know the identity of the deputy U.S. Marshal who was killed. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. For now, live in Charlotte, Floriana Boardman, Fox 8 News.
That look insane. And again, I'm going to say it again. I've always said it. I personally love and support police officers. They are the first responders for anything that goes wrong in your neighborhood. If you having any issues, and just think, they trying to get to the point to where they trying to send therapists and people to handle domestic disputes to people's houses when they get called, depending on the type of call that it gets. It's crazy. Prayer for their families. Again, make sure that y'all show respect to police officers because, again, they are the first responders and they are the first line of defense when you know things is happening in your neighborhood and stuff like that. It's unfortunate. It's very, very much unfortunate, but I guess that's just life. That's life inside the United States of America, huh? Let me read some of the super chats and then we're going to continue on with the show. Shout out to P. Shank. P. Shank is in the building. I appreciate you. Says, good morning, Mr. Anton Daniels and the Millionaire Morning Show and all of our friends over here in these streets. The Cultivator says, do you think a gold-backed currency could be on the horizon? If so, what does that mean for the dollar? Zimbabwe had to because use of inflation. Woo! Y'all gotta help me out. Y'all gotta run this through ChatGPT. Y'all gotta run this up because I'm having a hard time being it. I know I'm a C student. I know I'm a little slow, but basically, are you telling me that do I think that a gold-backed currency can be on the horizon for the United States of America because of the inflation, similarly to what happened in Zimbabwe? No, Zimbabwe had, if I'm not mistaken, a crazy amount of inflation to where it basically devalued their currency to basically nothing. And so they had to go into the thing that we used to do, which is back with the money that we have out there in circulation by the precious metals that we had in the currency in reserve. But now we've just printed so many dollars to where the value of money is just basically whatever it is that we say it is at that moment. No, I do not think that. I think that before you ever see that, you'll see them have stable coins and move over into a digital currency before they actually start to move into another physical type of currency in the United States of America. Plus, too much of the world hold a lot of their reserves in American dollars. So no, I don't think that you'll ever see that in our lifetime. But that's just my personal opinion. Shout out to the Cultivator. I appreciate you for the super chat. Christian West says, glad to catch a show and hope everyone is blessed. Anton, I'm going into cloud engineering. And what would you suggest between AWS and Azure? Either or. Both of them is good. AWS is the biggest. Azure is the second biggest. They're both being backed and is growing and everything is continuing to move into the cloud. Either one is fine. Both. How about that? Doing the both. You ain't got to lie, Craig says. People told me to be careful in Detroit, but then I came back home to this, shaking my head. They had to close down the entire east side yesterday. People don't know nothing about this city. This city is awesome. Shout out to Eric Daniels says, I missed your show for the first time in a long time this past Friday, but watched the replay. Your analysis of the tax cuts was spot on, but the Trump tax cuts were not paid for and added to the debt. Shout out to Eric Daniels. That is not true. And the reason that it's not true is because you can't add to the debt by tax cuts. You add to the debt by the things that we're spending frivolously on. The people should not be made to overpay, and you can't then substantiate that the debt was raised because of tax cuts. It's not true. The debt is always raised because of frivolous spending. It's raised because of social services. It's raised because we can't balance the budget effectively. It's raised for a lot of the reasons. You don't contribute into the deficit by cutting taxes. You contribute into the deficit by not being able to fiscally manage what you have inside of your coffers. That's the reason why the debt continues to get raised, is because we just continue to print more money, and it's not on the American taxpayers to continue to try to shoulder the burden of irresponsible spending by legislators in Congress. Don't be fooled. You don't add to the debt by cutting the amount of money that we have to contribute into it. They have to learn how to manage the budget that we give them. They have to learn how to manage. You don't just keep raising taxes on the people. You can't pay for tax cuts. The taxes that we pay for whatever the budget is. You can't pay for tax cuts. That makes no sense. It's an oxymoron. It's an oxymoron. You can't say, oh man, we're paying for tax cuts. You don't pay for what I'm already contributing. It's an oxymoron. It doesn't make sense. So what you have to learn how to do is manage the resources that you already have effectively, instead of asking us to continue to shoulder the burden and then give permanent tax raises on the taxes that we have to continue to contribute into the pot because you don't want to do what you're supposed to do. No, the student loan forgiveness wasn't paid for. That's what you should be saying. Student loan forgiveness wasn't paid for. $28 billion that went in over to homelessness that we don't know just went into the thin air is not paid for. Migrant crisis and the budget deficit that you got over in Chicago and Los Angeles and California is not paid for. It's a lot of things that's not paid for, but you can't pay for tax cuts because tax cuts is the thing. The taxes that we give is what goes into the coffer for you to be able to manage effectively. You don't pay for tax cuts. We're paying for a migrant crisis. We're paying for social services. We're paying for overspending on things that we don't need. We're paying for all of this stuff that we continue to give and we don't know where it's going. And it's going to the coffers of people that we don't even know. Staffing companies and agencies. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. You gotta think. It's not that. We gotta think. Eric Daniels, I appreciate you, but we gotta think. Forsaken Archive says it's more important than water. You should know what I mean. More important than water. More important than water. It's my dog Fleece. Shout out to Fleece. Ben Flacco says, despite what many think, the USA is the most violent place on earth. I think Haiti would rival with that. It's a lot. Sudan, it's over 10,000 people dying a day just from starvation in Sudan. I don't know where you got that from. What up, Top Dog Time? And shout out to the Chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well. Matter of fact, make sure y'all join the Bag Chasers tomorrow. I think tomorrow's a new month. Leland Brown says, in 2009, I came to Detroit for job training the same week GM and Chrysler filed for bankruptcy. Detroit was in disrepair. I think that's what you meant to say, disrepair. Discovered the Leland Tower. I said then Detroit would come back, but not in a position financially to execute. Yes, a lot of people that wish they had the money to really invest. Made a lot of money. J-Dub says, there's a video of a woman near Baltimore, Maryland, being hunted by her ex-boyfriend. He killed her in cold blood in the parking lot. She was yelling for help and mentioned a restraining order she had. Wow, that's crazy. Shout out to J-Dubs. I appreciate y'all. Let's get into the show. Let's deep dive a little bit further into the show, y'all. We got to get there. We got to get there. So, I can't help myself. I don't know what's going on. It's like this lady is haunting me in my dreams. All I see is a wig, pearls, and being 25 to 0. Wigs, pearls, and being 25 to the 0. Now, I see something that come across my email where you guys are saying, Anton, she's specifically being criminally investigated, and that's what one of these subpoenas is for. I said, okay, well, let's react to it in person. Let's react to it together, all right? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Before we get into that, though, I want to keep you guys informed on what was going on the previous day, because I know some people missed the show and they're not on top of it like they should be. So the law firm that was representing Dalton and Tiffany Henyard in all of these cases is saying they're not being paid It's so much money. It's so many things and default judgments that's coming. They had to pull out. So I want to remind you of what we're dealing with before we start dealing with it, okay?
Investigates has new information on a wide-ranging FBI investigation in the south suburbs. It involves the two governments run by Tiffany Henyard. We've learned agents served several subpoenas at the Thornton Township building on Friday. A source says they sought township financial and employment records, as well as specific information about people close to Supervisor Henyard. The subpoenas were delivered 1 week to the day after the FBI paid a similar visit to Dalton Village Hall, where Henyard is the mayor. Also today, Dalton's village attorney now says he'll no longer defend Dalton in nearly 24 lawsuits, including those involving police shootings and jail suicides. It comes as Mayor Tiffany Henyard continues to battle against a majority of trustees over everything from spending to transparency and allegations that she retaliates against her opponents. The trustees have refused to approve the payment of some bills. Attorney Michael Delgado acts as the village attorney there. He's now written this letter to Mayor Henyard and trustees that reads in part, "We are, of course, not required to work for free and decline to do so." He went on to say no one wants to represent the village. He then warned the village may owe more than $20 million in excess of insurance policy limits.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Hey, Neon Cube, I'm going to need you to go ahead and bring yourself to the front of the congregation. We literally just covered that in the last segment. Y'all going to have to start joining the live stream on time. Are y'all not getting y'all notifications? Did y'all got y'all subscribed and y'all notifications on? Come on, man. We literally just covered that in the last segment. They said, listen, we're not working for free. We got families to feed. I know you still want to be 25 to the O, but we got to be able to go in here and take care of business. All right? Now that you know that the actual law firms are quitting and the people that are representing Dalton and Tiffany Henyard in these cases are starting to quit, they said, listen, we can't keep taking care of business. We got to be a little bit more careful in how we leverage in our resources. That's what happened yesterday. That's what we covered, all right? In addition to that, this is now the latest news on Tiffany Henyard and Dalton. Check it out.
Fox 32 has obtained copies of the two federal subpoenas served on Thornton Township on Friday. And there are two big takeaways. Tiffany Henyard is clearly a target of the criminal investigation, and that investigation is growing.
Overall, it tells me that the investigation is expanding. It's not just focusing on the city of Dalton.
Former FBI agent Ross Rice says the subpoenas revealed the burgeoning scope of the federal criminal investigation into Thornton Township Supervisor and Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. One subpoena focuses entirely on Henyard, including two businesses she owns, a restaurant and a property management.
Oh, we didn't know anything about this. So wait a minute. Tiffany Henyard owns a restaurant and a property management company? Who is Aisha Properties? Who is Aisha? Aisha, you are the girl that I never had. Who is Aisha? Friends of Tiffany Henyard and Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. Let me rewind that and make sure I got that correct.
Entirely on Henyard, including two businesses she owns. Investigation into Thornton Township Supervisor and Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. One subpoena focuses entirely on Henyard, including two businesses she owns, a restaurant and a property management company, as well as Henyard's political fund and the charity bearing her name. It asks for all records, including personnel files, wage and tax statements, time and attendance, records of work performed, contracts, and checks written to cash.
Oh, when you start deep diving into the money, I'm telling you, oh my God. When you start diving into the money, that's when you know you messed up. Because the paper trail tells everything. The paper trail is the thing that's going to get you jammed up. All of that tough talking, all of that goes out the drain when you start to dive into the wage and taxes. If you ain't got your stuff up to date, you got you a little PPP loan out there somewhere, it's going to come back to bite you. If I'm people that surround her, I'm getting the heck out of Dodge. I'm quitting. I'm getting out the way. I'm not having no more conversations. I'm not getting into it. I'm getting the heck out of Dodge.
The mayor and the township supervisor, who are one and the same, appear to be the primary focus of the investigation.
The second subpoena requests a kitchen sink of township records, including financial reports, budgets, payroll records, and ordinances covering credit card purchases, expense reimbursements, security details, and the use of vehicles.
Jesus.
Mayor Officer Young put in for 303 hours in a 2-week period.
Ain't no way in the world I would have been out there walking with the news. If the news is walking with you and they trying to give me a Pooh Shiesty mask, I don't want to be identified. I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to be associated with it. I'm out of there.
3 hours. Fox 32 has reported extensively about Henyard's use of a police security detail, which police say has hampered their ability to fight crime. You need security to protect you from questions from reporters? The subpoena also asks for payments and credit card expenditures for a number of township employees, including Henyard's top lieutenant Keith Freeman, some township trustees, and Henyard's boyfriend, who runs the township's youth violence prevention program.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Who was the boyfriend?
Hey y'all, this is Mayor Tiffany Henyard, Supervisor Henyard, the people supervisor.
The subpoena also focuses on township travel, including a story first reported by Fox 32 and the Illinois Answers Project about a trip Henyard took to Springfield in 2022 with Dalton and Thornton Township employees, ostensibly to raise money for a cancer charity in her name. We wondered who was paying for all of this. And so are the feds, who ask for records of municipal resources being used on behalf of Friends of Tiffany Henyard, political fund, and charitable organizations, including the Tiffany Cares Foundation, which involved a $10,000 donation of taxpayers' money made by the township. $10,000 donation of taxpayers' money made by the township.
Oh, Jesus. You using taxpayer money in order to fund your Tiffany Cares Foundation organization? This is ran just like the Carter. This is ran just like the Carter.
It's very broad in the scope. It's very broad in the number of people and entities they're asking for records on. So there must be some serious allegations of wrongdoing that they're trying to get to the bottom of.
The money.
It's the second round of federal subpoenas. On April 20th, 4 FBI agents served a pair of subpoenas on the village of Dalton, asking for the personnel files of 29 employees.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Stephanie Wiedemann is a former township employee turned whistleblower who's been helping the FBI in its investigation.
What do we want? Township back!
Over the weekend, she took part in a rally of Thornton Township residents calling on Henyard to resign. Wiedemann says the latest subpoenas are a welcome sign.
I hope that the township finds a way to be able to recoup the damage that has been done. But I hope that the people that did the damage, there's repercussions for making bad decisions.
Through a spokesperson, Henyard declined to comment about the subpoenas. The township has until May 20th to turn over all those records to a federal grand jury that's been impaneled to investigate.
You ain't even got to worry about it. We ain't got to worry about no more interviews. We ain't got to worry about Roland Martin. We ain't got to worry about Angela Yee. We ain't got to worry about nothing. Nothing. This is over. This is just a matter of time. At this point, this is literally just a matter of time. This is over. I think she done, personally. I honestly believe that she done. When they start digging into the money and they get to that point, I think it's just really a waiting game. So, I hope she got her ducks in a row. I hope she got her babysitter set up and all of that, because she is about to be in a world of doo-doo. Gosh. You don't mess with the money, man. You just don't mess with the money at all. I feel sorry for the people that surround her and her daughter and all of that stuff, but It's about to get real ugly. And I have a feeling that we're not going to be done reporting on this. This is going to be a long, years-long content creation thing. I might make $1 million off of Tiffany Henyard. I ain't even going to cap. I may make $1 million off of Tiffany Henyard. I ain't going to cap. Shout out to Kev Reviews Plus. I appreciate you. Says, sent a thank you via PayPal. Let me see this. Y'all looking out for your boy on PayPal? Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me put some PayPal in it. PayPal. Shout out to the pal, Alan Curry. I appreciate you, big dog. Alan Curry said, dog, I got you, bro. Thank you, my friend. Let me give a round of applause for A. Curry. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are absolutely positively appreciated. Thank you. It goes without saying. Let me say this too before we continue on with the show. Over the weekend, I will be working on getting all of these fake Instagram and TikTok profiles and Facebook profiles removed. Do not, under any circumstance, if my Instagram that is down in the description, Facebook that is down in the description, TikTok that is down in the description, Twitter or Threads that is down in the description, do not, under any circumstance, I will not ask you for money. I will not petition you for money. I don't do business over social media. I only do business in my email, which is Anton Daniels 413@gmail.com. Do not listen to I don't have a second profile. I don't have backup profiles. I don't have alternative profiles. None of that. Don't give a damn. Don't send no money on Instagram. Don't do none of that, okay? I don't ask you for money to invest. I've never invested anybody's money. I don't ask for money for crypto. I don't do any of that. I don't hit y'all up on WhatsApp. Nothing, okay? If it is not linked in the description or if I do not contact you via email, then do not, under any circumstances, report it. Whatever you got to do. I'm going to be working diligently over the weekend in order to try to get all of these profiles removed, these fake profiles. But it is a scam, okay? Do not, under any circumstance, contribute into anything that is not authorized from me with the blue check saying that, yo, this is how I rock, all right? Email only. Mark Samuel says, Anton, when you hosting another pitch night? Later on in the year. Definitely later on in the year. That's going to be Patreon exclusive. Make sure y'all join the Patreon tomorrow. The best day to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month, all right? Beginning of the month tomorrow. That is the best time, all right? If you are not following me on Instagram, if you're not following me on Threads, TikTok, and all of that, my link is in the description. Stay up to date because I will be going live on Instagram pretty shortly or pretty soon. I might even go live today, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's continue on with the show. We got a lot more to cover. Before we get to Kamala Harris, I want to talk about this really quickly. I want to talk about Brandon Johnson, all right? In the theme of making sure that we hold accountable the people that is absolutely tearing apart the lives of our police officers, Brandon Johnson in particular was not invited or disinvited along with Governor, Pritzker, J.B. Pritzker over in Illinois. Brandon Johnson was disinvited from the family of the slain police officer from attending the funeral, and I want to share with you guys why. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get to it.
Brandon Johnson was
This shouldn't take that long, to be honest with you.
among those expressing condolences to the fallen officer's family today, but the mayor did not attend the funeral after learning that the officer's grief-stricken mother said he was not welcome. ABC 7 political reporter Craig Wall joins us now with more.
Moderators, can you please time out Taylor Smith? Thank you.
On that, Craig.
Judy, this decision by the family causing a bit of a political stir. Last night, the mayor in his public schedule said he would be attending the funeral, despite being told earlier in the evening by two public officials, including Illinois Comptroller Susana Mendoza, that the family did not want him there. This morning, the mayor relented and decided he would stay away. Retired police officers and others say they can't remember a time when the family of a Chicago police officer told the Chicago mayor he or she was not welcome at the funeral.
It's a powerful message. They're basically saying that they do not want the most powerful, most prominent, most important member of the city, the mayor of the city of Chicago, to participate in this very important event.
It says that, the appetite right now of the political movement against the police is noticed by citizens, noticed by family members.
The mayor's change of heart and schedule coming only about an hour before the funeral of Officer Luis Huesca was set to begin.
It shows tone deafness, and it also shows a lack of respect.
The mayor, without addressing the controversy, said in a statement, "As mayor, I vow to continue supporting our police and first responders, uniting our city and remaining committed to working with everyone towards building a better, stronger, safer Chicago. My heart is with the Huesca family today." The last time anything close to this happened was in 2021, when officers turned their back on Mayor Lori Lightfoot when she went to visit the family of wounded Officer Carlos Yanez at the hospital, despite being asked to stay away. Today, there were a number of other elected officials who attended Officer Huesca's funeral, the police superintendent choosing to focus instead on his fallen officer, not the controversy.
I'm not going to get into politics or anything surrounding this funeral. I am not going to take away from the real focus here. And the real focus is that of Officer Luis Huesca and his family.
Now, last week, the officer's family had also informed the governor's team that they did not want him to attend the funeral. The governor saying today that a lot of times families do not want the complications that come from political figures attending the funerals. He says he always does what the family requests. Not sure exactly what happened with the mayor's office. They were not able to tell us what was the mix-up or misunderstanding.
Okay.
They not messing with y'all because they know that y'all don't really support the police. And the way that you don't support the police is not by saying I directly don't support the police, but it's the stance that you take when it comes to your policies. It's the idea of you labeling things as large gatherings, as you not giving them the resources that they need in order to really be able to protect themselves or protect the citizens. And you don't stand with them. And so they don't stand with y'all. And that's why they turning their back on y'all. That's why the family don't really feel like you value it, because you're going to use it as an opportunity to create a political trope instead of actually doing the thing that's in the best interest of the people. The way that you show that you love people is by action, not by grand gestures in order to leverage this as a visible opportunity for you to get more coverage.
And we start here at 4 o'clock remembering Officer Huesca, Luis Huesca. The 30-year-old officer was shot and killed last week on his way home from work, and today hundreds gathered to pay their final respects.
Let me see if I can move this forward some, because I did see a little bit of that. I seen the first 3 minutes.
Officer Luis Huesca. His partner delivers an emotional eulogy at the beloved officer's funeral, remembered as a kind-hearted young man who loved his family and his community. 2 people you did not see at today's funeral, though, were Governor J.B. Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson.
The Huesca family asked them not to attend, wanting to keep politics out of today's tribute. We have much more now from our political reporter, Marianne Ahert. Marianne?
Good afternoon to you. Yes, well, you did see elected officials pay their respects today at Officer Huesca's funeral mass. The mayor and the governor honored the wishes of the family, and they stayed away.
Viva Cristo Rey!
The funeral mass for Chicago police officer Luis Huesca, standing room only, as the city honored an officer gunned down as he returned home from work.
Nobody wants to step up and say that these people that make these policies, they work for you.
Hold on. Because we not just going to keep it on the surface. We're going to call a spade a spade. The family is saying this.
That these people that make these policies, they work for you.
I don't know how much more powerful of a statement that you can make. The people that create these policies, they work for you. It sounds like she's speaking directly to the people and then indirectly speaking directly to the mayors and J.B. Pritzker and the Safety Act and the fact that they keep allowing criminals on the street and they not necessarily allowing citizens to be able to protect themselves. And we in these liberal cities. She's telling you directly why she's saying what she's saying. They work for you, and they're creating policies against the people that is serving you. They're removing spot shotter. They funding more things that have to do with the migrant community, and they've been spending more time focused on that than they have making sure that their police officers and the residents are safe. They not tough on crime. They made it easier, and they will check you as a person that asks them a question. If you ask them, what is these criminals doing out here on the street? No, they're not criminals. This is just a large gathering. She said it directly.
You don't work for them, and it's not okay for you to hear gunshots and think that that's okay.
Weska's sister Lily O'Brien and his family, through this video provided by the FOP, let their frustrations be known and signaled why they asked Mayor Johnson and Governor Pritzker to stay away from the mass.
Chicago needs to step up and hold the people who make these policies that allow third, fourth, 5 chances to people that have made so many mistakes, and then they turn around and they murder innocent people.
The mayor planned to
See, it don't hit the same until it's your people. It don't hit the same until it's your people. How long have I been saying this? And then we got all of these people that got these liberal mindsets and these liberal policies and is soft on crime and make sure that we stay on code. And what if it was your brother and we against the police and defund the police and Black Lives? Where's Black Lives Matters? I would like for Al Sharpton to show his face. We tired of seeing Mayor Mohawk. We tired of seeing J.B. Pritzker. We tired of seeing Beetlejuice. We tired of seeing these people that support criminals but don't support the taxpayers that pay for their salary. She said, man, these people work for you, and they creating policies that work against you, that support the criminals, because they so focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion and making sure that people feel included in the fact that we're releasing criminals onto the street and we soft on crime, and the people that actually make sure that they do the right thing on a daily basis, they the ones that's under assault. 66-year-old woman just the other day, just reported on it, dragged out into the street, running up on y'all college campuses in the daytime, robberies out of control overnight, nobody caught, poo shiesty masks everywhere. Don't discriminate. Make sure that you greet them with a warm hug when they run up on you in all black and a poo shiesty mask. Because listen, we can't just by default say that these people are coming to get you. That is discrimination. That is race baiting. And I will not have it in the city of Chicago. We're going to build a stronger, safer Chicago together. And just make sure we sprinkle a little bit of migrants in there, and then we got it. They ain't asking them not to come for political reasons. They asking them not to come because they feel like they directly or indirectly responsible for the death of the police officer that was his sister or her brother.
Attend the funeral, but after calls directly to him explaining the family's wishes, an hour before the funeral, he changed his mind and released a new statement saying in part, "My heart is with the Weska family today." Superintendent Larry Snelling.
I'm not going to get into politics or anything surrounding this funeral. I am not going to take away from the real focus here.
Not just here today. 1 month ago in New York, Governor Kathy Hochul was confronted as she left a New York wake for a police officer. Governor Pritzker reached out to CPD before the service rather than just show up.
It is really up to the family whether they want the attention that comes with and all of the hullabaloo that comes with public officials attending. So I always follow the request of the
slimy politician
family to do whatever it is that makes them most comfortable.
And it is not just police officer funerals. After the 4th of July shooting, several Highland Park victims' families asked for politicians, including the governor, to not attend those services.
They not messing with y'all. They don't want no parts to do with y'all. They feel like y'all indirectly responsible for what's going on in the streets. Let me give y'all the latest update of the criminal that they have not caught. Now imagine if these criminals are getting away with taking a car and taking the actual pistol of the officer that they killed that was on their way home from work, what chance do you think that you guys have in being able to survive these Chicago streets? If the police can't even track down the guy that killed one of their own, what chance do you think that you have with these guys that's riding around with these Pusheisi masks on? And they know the identity. They know he's 22 years old. They know his height. They know his hair. They know everything about him. They know where his mama live. And they can't find this guy. Let me give you all the latest update on this.
We begin with breaking news and the continuing manhunt for Xavier Tate Jr., the man accused of murdering Chicago police officer Luis Huesca. Huesca was shot and killed last Sunday morning as he returned home from his shift. CBS CPD headquarters with the very latest. Sarah, what do we know today?
Always a siren.
Well, Tara, 22-year-old Tate is still considered at large and charged with first-degree murder in court documents that were filed in an arrest warrant on Friday. If you do take a look at some of those documents, you will see that investigators wrote Tate knowingly and intentionally fired a .40 caliber handgun. I apologize, we have some sirens going by. They say that handgun is the reason for the cause of death. Police releasing surveillance video of Tate earlier this week. Huesca had just pulled into his Gage Park home, returning from his shift, still in uniform, when a shot spotter alerted police to gunshots in the area near 56th and Kedzie. Police do believe that the 6-year veteran was killed in a possible carjacking. His car and his service weapon were both gone. Investigators did find his car first and
shout out to you, Jeff. I appreciate
his gun
that insight.
yesterday at a South Side home near 108 and Hale. Investigators were there, we're told, and saw a relative throwing a firearm over a fence into a yard before they took him into custody.
This is going to be in relation to the off-duty PO incident from last Saturday.
Court records show that Tate was due in court in Markham on Wednesday for an unrelated charge, but missed that court appearance. Funeral services are now scheduled for Monday. We will be there to bring you the latest in our live coverage.
So he was already out and he was already facing charges on other things, and he was supposed to be in court. We know he's not going to show up in court because they never do. Then a relative is seen throwing the pistol, the actual police officer's pistol, out the window. And we know that they know where they homie is, and they harboring fugitives. Make sure we get stronger gun laws. Do you know the first thing that I seen when I opened up my my news briefs, because I always check to see what the financials and stuff is. The first thing that I seen when I opened up my news briefs was the Biden administration and Kamala Harris urges tougher gun laws in order to make sure that these things never happen. They're using this as a political trope to get you guys galvanized and more emotional with things that's not happening. And we already know Chicago has some of the strictest gun laws in the country. New York has some of the strictest gun laws in the country. These places have the strictest gun laws in the country, and they're using this to continue to jockey up and ramp up support for their stupid campaigns, and they care nothing about the police officers that's been killed. Hey, we got to make sure that we have stricter gun laws. It's unfortunate, man. And again, the people that pay the price is the family. The family are the ones that suffer. It's never the criminals. He's still at large. 22 years old. Let me show y'all what he looks like again, just in case y'all run up on a dude with a Pusheisi mask on. This is him. Hold on. That's him. If you see him in the streets, be careful. He's killing off-duty police officers and taking lives. All right? Let me read this super chat, and then we're going to continue on with the show. Shout out to the Sportsaholic. Says, politicians that support criminals and crime? Wasn't this the RoboCop movie storyline? Yep. And you got to ask yourself why. They basically letting crime run rampant in these liberal cities, and I'm trying to understand why. Appreciate you for supporting the platform. Couple more things. Now, give me a second. Let me gather myself. Nope, not that one. I think that Kamala Harris is quite possibly the fakest politician today. I seen a small clip of this, and then shout out to your car and everybody that sent this over to me. I seen a small clip of this because I was trying to figure out, do I even want to add this into the Millionaire Morning Show today? And I said, oh man, I got to. Not only do I have to have this conversation inside of the Millionaire Morning Show, but I probably need to react to a much larger and give my thoughts much more extensively on the Anton Daniels channel. So you can see me deep dive into this a little bit later on today. But I couldn't believe it. I seen this interview with her on Drew Barrymore. I didn't even know Drew Barrymore got a show. And I said, I am amazed at the fakeness of these celebrities. I mean, the acting was on full display. The fakeness was on full display. Y'all gotta see this. Yo, I'm going to try to play it in its entirety. I'm going to try not to skip through any of it and let y'all see the entire context of this stupid interview. And then y'all can give me y'all thoughts as a result of it. It's only 6 minutes. So let me put my timer on. I got my timer. All right. I don't want to spend any more than 10 minutes on this whole thing. I don't want to spend any more than 10 minutes on this whole thing, all right? So I got my timer. Let's go.
We have all women here today in the audience. Thank you, ladies. And this is our first all-female audience. And I keep picturing my two daughters. I mentioned that to you. I keep seeing their faces.
The only reason I said 10 minutes, Connie, is because I got to give my thoughts on it afterwards. And I don't want to just... The video is 6 minutes and 45 seconds, so I don't plan on spending a whole lot of time. They already only got women in the audience. And Drew Barrymore got her acting skills, and they so bad, I don't even know how she got any movie roles.
And you are a stepmother to Ella and Cole.
Yes.
Was Ella around 13 when you came in? Cole 17-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. I have such an investment in this question because I too am in a beautiful dynamic. My children's stepmother, Allie, who I am the president of her fan club.
Great.
You and Doug dated for a while before you met them.
Yeah.
Do you remember that day? What was it like?
I remember it so well.
Look at Drew Barrymore. I'm sorry. Give me a second, y'all. Look at this scarecrow. So fake of all of the conversations that you can possibly have with the Vice President of the United States of America, which we all know that this is planned in order to create a softer image and to appeal to the hearts of women. I am so invested in you being a stepmother, and I'm going to scoot up on a chair a little bit more just to hear your story because I'm so compelled. I know that Kamala Harris is such a great storyteller. Oh, God. You and Doug, you guys dated for a while before he introduced you to the kids, but we know that you're a stepmother. Good God. We got the border open. Police is getting killed. Inflation is on 10. She's supposed to be the border czar. There's been reports that she's been having unruly black woman moments inside of the White House and all of this stuff. And we gonna sit here and have a whole conversation about her being a stepmother? Really? And this is a compelling conversation. Who drew this play up, man? Listen, I very much wanted to just let it play out. But this is so dumb. We are so evil in this country. and that we just allow ourselves to get played over and over again. I'm gonna let it play, y'all. I'm gonna let them tell a stupid story.
What was it like?
I remember it so well, and it was
My
probably one of
God.
the most special days of my life. First of all, I'll tell you, we kind of don't use the term step, because I just think I love Disney. However, Disney kind of messed that up, for a lot of us over the years. The evil step parent, and their word for me is mamala, and so they call me mamala. But Doug and I dated for a while before I met the kids for a very specific reason. His parents.
Is that before or after Montel Williams? Is that before or after Montel? She pivoted, though. I tell you, that must be that white in her. She pivoted, though. That must be that white in her. She said, listen, I ain't going to get nowhere with Montel. I ain't going to get nowhere with Montel. Montel got a shelf life. I got to switch over to Doug. I can't get nowhere with Montel. I'm trying to be the president of the United States of America. I got to switch over to Doug. So fake. So fake. Unreal, man.
Parents have been married 65 years. I am a child of divorced parents. And he didn't fully understand what I understood in terms of my own lived experience, which is it's really important, I feel, that, children create such attachment. And until I was sure that he and I had something that was real, I didn't want to do that to the kids. And so, and he'd say, it's okay. And I was like, let's just be sure about this before that happens. And so our first date with the kids, we let them choose where we would go, and they chose the Real Inn. And it was the best day ever. I was very nervous. I put on, I loved, if I'm not wearing heels, I'm wearing my Chucks. And so jeans, Chucks, jacket, and it was the best day ever. It actually ended up going on for, it was really good. It was good.
So fake.
Actually spoke
Look how
to the
close
First
Drew Barrymore
Lady
just got.
about-
Look how close Drew Barrymore and Scarecrow Face has gotten to Kamala Harris. Look how much closer she's scooted up to her.
About that decision and her awareness.
Yeah.
The integrity a human being must have to come into a dynamic. How did you know, if you went into it with such integrity, how do you deal with when the kids are acting a certain way?
So their mom, Kristen, and I are friends. We have a certain way. So
how do you deal with when the kids are acting a certain way?
Not the kids acting a certain way. We're in the middle of a presidential election. Jesus!
Integrity. How do you deal with when the kids are acting a certain way?
Oh, God. What are we doing? The kids are acting. Oh, this is so dumb. Oh, my God. Talk about puppets and paid acting. Jesus. How you doing, kids acting? Oh, my God. What about when the kids act crazy?
So their mom, Kristen, and I are friends. We have established a really wonderful friendship. We're on the same team, right? About parenting. We respect each other and we like each other. And I think what's really important and will make it work is when all of the adults who are in that dynamic have respect for each other.
Yes.
And
work together.
and understand that there's that this is not about territorial
No,
ownership.
it's all about the kids.
Right?
Absolutely.
But it is about respect.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You know, I was very clear with the kids. I am not here to replace your mother. You have that one mother, and I'm the second mother.
Mamala.
Right, Mamala. And
Oh my God. I can't believe this. Oh, Jesus. I'm not, oh God. Your mama, you're the mamala. Oh, give me a second, Joe. Good God Almighty. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Oh, God. I can't believe what I'm watching right now. I can't watch this. I can't watch this with regular eyes on. We got to watch this with our VR glasses on because this has got to be the worst acting job that I've ever seen happen in my entire existence. This cannot be real. No way that we're sitting here having Drew Barrymore. Oh my God, Mamala. Impossible that I'm seeing this happen right now. No way that I'm seeing this happen.
And I think that when the adults are really clear about, you know, a commitment to mature relationships, it makes it so much easier for the kids because children don't want to have to choose.
No.
And it's just not fair to them to put them in a situation where intentionally or not, they're being manipulated around the adults' weird relationships with each other, right?
Well,
and
that's
you have to sort that out.
A great segue to say that I keep thinking in my head that we all need a mom. I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Mamala of the country.
What? Oh my God, you son of a, can't believe I just seen what I just seen. Dog, she just told her we need you to be Mamala of the country. Jesus Christ, if that's not the worst acting job that I've ever seen in my entire life, oh my God. She said, that is a great segue because the whole world needs a hug and we just want you to be Mamala of the... Jesus Christ. Are y'all really voting for this, people? Honestly. Let me play this for you. When you go to the polls this year, election 2024, this is what I want you to remember. This moment, I want this to be seared into your brain. This moment, right here, right now, this is what I want you to remember when you go to the polls. And all of the women that's in the audience, this is what I want you to be seared into your brain.
Hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Mamala of the country. And as a woman who respects so much and wants to share and wants to be confident and has no ounce of me that has competitiveness, when we lift each other up, we all rise.
That's exactly right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
However, we need a great protector.
Yeah. Well, part of it is I think that sadly over the last many years, there's been this kind of perverse approach to what strength looks like, which is to suggest that the measure of one's strength is based on who you beat down. Instead of what we know, the true measure of your strength is based on who you lift up.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And if you ever want to measure, if you ever just want some indication,
I
objective
feel like I'm being punked right now, bro.
indication of your individual power, see what you can do to help other people in need. And it could be just a simple act.
Yes.
Including just taking some interest in actually listening.
Yes.
To how people.
Oh, look at the bad acting of this. This is a Millionaire Morning Show. I'm not going to curse. Look at Drew Barrymore grabbing her hand like she's so immersed in this deep conversation. Yes.
Including just taking some interest in actually listening.
Yes.
Oh, God. This is like the worst thing I've ever seen on TV in my life. I'm not sure that I've ever seen more grifting and the worst acting job that I've ever seen in my entire life playing out right here, right now, before your eyes. This is so bad. This is so bad. They are really putting this in our face and telling us to rock out with this. They saying that this is the thing that we really need to be able to relate to. I cannot believe what I'm watching right now. It is the worst thing on the internet. And they put this out in a clip. They clipped this up and put it on the Drew Barrymore channel, which I didn't even know that she had a channel. I said, no way. No way on God's green earth are we going to sit here and let these people play in our face without absolutely bringing them to the front of the congregation. I can't believe it. Look at how compelled she is.
Including just taking some interest in actually listening.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Y'all see why I want to be? I don't want no more friends. I'm good, bro. I genuinely don't want any Hollywood friends, bro. Because if this is the way that they play in front of your face, you just be looking at them like, you so fake. I get blackballed immediately. This is why we rock with the chasers. This is why they don't want to give me my money. It's so fake. This is so fake. And y'all gonna vote for it too.
To how people are feeling and to sincerely have some interest and care and concern about their well-being or their suffering. And I think we all know that's what we want in each other. That's what we want from leaders. But let's be intentional about it and open about saying, that's really what strength looks like. And that's the kind of strength that we want.
I'm done. I'm genuinely done. If I didn't have another segment that I thought that I would be entertained with, I would cut the show off right now because my 10 minutes been up for a long time. I'm done. Are y'all really going for this hag? Come on, man. This is so bad, bro. This is so bad. Come on. Eric Daniels, even you got to admit that this was the worst acting job that we could have gotten from a vice presidential candidate for getting back into office again ever. About to make me turn around and do some work on my computer, bro. So bad, bro. So bad. Can't believe it, man. Unreal, bro. Unreal. So bad all across the board. Just can't believe that y'all going and y'all gonna fall for the okie doke. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Let me read some of these super chats and then we're going to continue on with the show. We got one more thing that we're going to react to. Victor Williams says, Anton, what's the link for that timer you use? Oh, I got to figure that out. I bought it off Instagram. Yeah, I got roped into an Instagram ad and it wound up actually being a good product. So I'll figure that out and I'll get that for you, and then we're going to rock out. I use this Q Pomodoro timer, and that one looks clean. Yeah, this one is dope. This one is actually dope. This is really, really dope. So I just stick it on whatever it is. I got them all over the place, and then I put the timer on, and then that's what keep me focused in these streets, man. I'll figure it out, and then email me, and then I'll try to send you the link to it if I can find it. Spacer says, Cam needs to holler at Mugo for the neck brace. Aw, boy. Don't y'all get on my girl Mugo over there in Chicago. Jones FX 426 says, Time Dog, I need to take that pause button from you. Man, it's crazy, bro. These women out here embarrassing us. Y'all better not let y'all wife vote for these people. Joe Gun 84 says, Drew got that fire bar. From Jim Carrey. Shout out to Jim Carrey. That's another great white comedian that they ain't want to give their props to. Jones FX says, has to be over 10 minutes. Yeah, it was. I'm sorry. I lost it. I had to go and get my VR, my Meta glasses. I got the Meta here. I got the other ones over there. Courtney Smith says, Kamala will be the first absent mamala of the country, too. And y'all going to vote these people in. Y'all have no care. Bitcoin Brown. I was supposed to talk to Bitcoin Brown on Sunday because we were supposed to be finishing my website. Bitcoin Brown says, I'm still stuck on mamala of the country. If she gets elected for any longer than 4 years, we will be cooked forever. And she don't even have the charisma of a Barack. Barack was a bad president, but at least he sold us on it. At least he sold us. Jew says all platitudes, just like Obama. Meanwhile, they're viciously going after Trump and his supporters. Sportsaholic says, the fact that the audience applauded is troubling. I need some Pepto because my stomach is bubbling. Jason Stakeums goes on to say, Drew is a fire starter and all, but damn, she legit acting on a talk show? This is wild. How do people buy this? The world is a simulation, bro. It is, man. It is. It's the only real thing that's left. The freaking Twilight Zone here, Kamala Harris. Good guy. I like to call her Cam Cam. I'm still going to call her Cam Cam Chase. All right, y'all. Come on, y'all. We got to get into one more segment of the show. I have not seen this yet, but I want to go ahead and review it because I want to make sure that we get it all in. Apparently, this woman, she looks like she's Asian, if I'm not mistaken. A woman is saying that she got laid off. Yep. She got laid off from her job recently. And so she goes into that. And so we're going to go ahead and go into a reaction video for that. And then let me give her some credit, too. So her name is Noelle B. Noelle B. All right. So y'all sent this to me to react to. You know, I like to go ahead and make sure that I react to some of the content creators. Go over there. If y'all check her out or check her channel out, she got 1.59K subscribers. Her name is Noelle B. And she's giving her story about what her experience is like being laid off. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get to it.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Noelle. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my last day of my corporate job. The day is finally here and
You're not doing this whole video, so we just gonna have to try to get as much as we can.
Say that because I feel like my management has been dragging this on for like 4 months now. Basically at my eval at the end of the year last year, they were like, you need to pivot. They made me feel like I could kind of step into a new role because I had entry-level skills, and they were like, psych, there's only one job available for you, either take it or leave it. And then that job wasn't even available. So it's been a roller coaster. I've known this for a while. This layoff, I've never been laid off, but from what I've heard and seen online from all the layoffs, this is very unusual to have so many months to prepare for this layoff. It's also just been weird, like a team
dynamic, she married.
Because like my manager.
So apparently she married because I see that she got a ring on her other finger. And this is the thing. When y'all looking at these videos and y'all reviewing stuff and y'all trying to evaluate certain things, look for the context clues. It's not always just about what a person says. Look at the context clues. So apparently she's laid off, but I'm assuming that she got a husband or she got a wife, who knows, depending on where she is. So it looked like she's married, but let's continue.
Has been kind of like, you need to be there even though I know I'm leaving and I'm not part of the team. So it's just, it's been a lot. And as much as I like obviously don't want to not have a job and don't want to not have an income, I don't know if that's right, double negative. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be making money. I want to have a job, especially we are about to get married.
Engaged. Laid off and engaged. How convenient. Hey, force her to get a job before you get married, big dog, or you're going to find yourself in a situation that's not going to be conducive.
You know, a source of income would be awesome. I am so ready to be done with this team, these people. They've been very, I feel like, disrespectful and kind of toxic. Not my actual team members, but management and director and leadership, whoever. What is this? Has that been there this entire time? So I am going to take you guys along for the day. Let me just kind of run down what's supposed to happen. So I'm here during my normal time, 7:30, when no one else gets here. I'm going to chill in my car for a little bit, jam out, because why not? Be in a good mood, you know, send positive vibes. And then at 10 o'clock, I have an exit interview, which I should be getting the exact amount for severance. I actually emailed the CIO the other day, and he also said I get money for like 2 months of premium for COBRA, which are like government health insurance. So I should be getting a letter with the exact amount, like on my last paycheck. Of course, that's without taxes, so it's gonna be less. This morning, I'm gonna make sure I have everything that I absolutely need, people's emails, my information. I've been forwarding myself stuff, so I should be good, but I'm just gonna double check. After that, I'm just leaving. My manager was like, do you want to have a team lunch? And I was like, absolutely not. Like, I don't want to sit with you through a lunch and pretend to be like friends. I don't know, that's just weird after an exit interview, when I don't even know what the exit interview entails. Like, I don't know if that's my time to roast them, or that's just their time to like give me paperwork and be like, see ya. We'll see how that goes. And then I have errands to run. I need to drop off a return at Abercrombie & Fitch, and then I need to donate clothes. I'm just saying it here first. Linen pants, I've tried literally like 4 or 5 different pairs of linen.
I don't care about linen pants. We gonna fast forward this. I will say that she's in a very, very, very rare position in that A, she was able to prepare for this, so she already should have another job lined up. And then B, she was able to basically go out with a severance package, probably getting vacation time paid off, all of that. And she about to get married. So this is not a typical layoff. This is not a typical layoff. This is not a situation where you know, you wake up and you get that letter how the Tesla employees is getting done, or how the Houston ISD employees is getting done. This is not the same. This is completely different than a normal layoff. You know what I'm saying? This is almost like, hey, we're going to give you and we're looking out for you. This is what employees actually probably really, really want in a situation. So I'm going to fast forward it a little bit. And I want to make sure that I find the spots that's actually meaningful to our conversation. I don't care about linen pants.
Yeah, so I'm going to return those. And then I actually have a derm that gets cut off tomorrow. It's like gathering at some thing, like we're going right. But I didn't want to commit ourselves to that. Like, I didn't commit to something. So I don't know if that's a toxic trait. I'll try to get clips here and there, but because like I said, disrespectful, like not the most fun throughout this whole process. So I'm like ready to get out of here, and I don't. So let's just all sing it and pretend we're dancing. I'm getting my stuff, going in, water bottle. Something kind of funny is I actually haven't been to the office in like 3 weeks because my vertigo, and then I was like, I'm not risking driving for a job that I'm about to be fired from. So
oh, that's why you got fired.
This is my first day in like 3 weeks, almost a month, I think, in the office. So it's just kind of funny.
That's why they let you go.
And I'm literally just here to return my laptop. Otherwise, I would not be here. Bye. This is, I made me business cards. So he's done that multiple times. So I'm going to leave him a little goodbye gift. How fancy his freaking mouse is. Work. And the sound wasn't great in that clip, but I was saying his mouse is so fancy. Go! Last day complete. I'm leaving now. Said bye to all my friends, all my coworkers.
This is what women do.
Noelle is out.
Because they got a backup plan.
High School Musical.
They got a husband.
We're breaking free. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I had my exit interview with my manager and director. They asked for like feedback, which I don't know if they're actually going to take it, but I basically said, don't do this dumb experiment position ever again. actually do your research and plan before you just make up a position so you're not messing with someone's life. And then they also asked, like, how many months or how far in advance should we let an employee know that their job is being terminated? I said 2 months,
this
but
job
it's
is
hard to
nice
say because the job market, like, right now is horrible. So longer for me was better financially, but mentally it wasn't. So I don't know. Like I said, will they even take any of this advice? Probably not.
This job
But
is too nice.
said goodbye to all my coworkers. I have some of their numbers, so we're getting lunch next week or in the future. And I'm just so happy to be done with this company. Like I said, it's been a very like toxic last 4 months for me. So I'm happy to get out of there.
People are so unappreciative.
I'm free. Like it kind of feels like how I was expecting or anticipating. It feels like there's a weight off my shoulders. I don't have this like looming cloud in my head about like, oh, I have to go to work. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I still have to go in the office. They're laughing. I'm not having fun. Like I'm part of the team, but I'm not part of the team. Like all this nonsense is just gone. So happy about that. And let's go do errands and go to our dermatologist appointment. All right, we are at the mall. I'm here to return Abercrombie linen pants. Like I said, I don't know if you can hear me. There's a freaking loud plane, but Abercrombie linen pants, because like I said, linen pants are just always see-through. I don't care what you say. Drive over to the dermatologist where for nursing, I think my vision is like 20. It's my prescription was wrong either time I've worn them, so I think it's the right prescription. That yellow light all the time. I want to update you, but the real reason I came on here, can we all guess what Noelle is going to get for lunch on the count of 3? 1, little day date alone. Going up and portions are going down.
What the frick is that?
Ouch.
I want to know what the severance package is.
I just finished lunch, and it's funny because I was saying a little goes a long way. It's stanking right now. So is it coincidence that I applied last week and then literally an hour after I am laid off, leave the office, I get hit up by the PRN nursing job? Coincidence or a sign that good things are coming, even though nursing is not exactly what I want, but at least it's movement, a step forward. Haven't heard back from any other job I applied to, and I've applied to probably over 100. So even though it's not necessarily what I want, it will be a good source of income, or just like a little flow of income at least. And I mean, I don't have the job yet, but they're taking the next step, so that's exciting. And like I said, I applied to them like a week ago, and it's a Friday. Like, why would they? I don't really know why they're sending that out on a Friday, but also I got stuff on my pants and stained my pants. A little dot. Put some water on. Oh well. It's home here. So we're gonna end the vlog here, but I'm back home. Skin looks good. No concerns.
Okay. These content creators, they got to do better. Honest to God. Like if y'all looking to grow y'all platform, y'all gonna have to create some more compelling content. I try to give people a chance, and I try to use my platform in order to big up other content creators that may not have as big of a platform. But y'all gotta come up with some more compelling effing content. Y'all gotta make it riveting. Y'all gotta tell a story. You gotta switch up the scenes and then start on the next part. And y'all gotta join the Patreon tomorrow. Tab into the Patreon tomorrow so y'all can get some better content. But the fact of the matter is this. This is my final thoughts on this. She's blessed. She's still complaining, but she's very blessed in that they gave her a heads up. She should have been knee deep trying to find another job, finding herself in a really good position. They asked her for feedback. They treated her good. She not really knowing how to network and maintain that relationship so that they'll ultimately maybe call her for something else different, or if somebody moves on. You always want to leave on a good foot. Don't leave with a bad attitude. Don't seem like you got a bad disposition. Go to the lunches, have fun, and interact with people, because those are the people that ultimately you'll lean into and you have to maintain a relationship with, because they may not even necessarily be at that company in the future. And then they'll hit you up and they'll say, hey, man, come through. I want you to see this, whatever, because you're awesome at what you do. And I also believe in making sure that you do a great job regardless of what your circumstances are at the job that you're at, because it's not necessarily for that job right there, but it's just because you're great, and then it leapfrogs into other things later that's conducive for you. All right. So she's very blessed. She's very good taking care of it. The fact that I guess she's a fiance or whatever, but content is very, very lackluster. Need to pick that up. Again, her name is Noelle B. Y'all can go over there and check out her channel if y'all want to. I'll put a link in the description for y'all to be able to link over to that and see what's happening. All right. So that's all I got. Hopefully we get a better content creator tomorrow that we can maybe review if we got time. And then we'll go from there. All right. Good show. Good show. Very, very good show, especially considering the circumstances and everything that's happening to our police officers and Kamala Harris being fake and all of that stuff. So never know what's going to happen. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Y'all keep trying to put me back in the corner. And let me say this. I seen a couple baddies walking their little poodles. I don't know what them dogs was. And I never even mentioned nothing. Can I give my credit? Let me give myself a round of applause because y'all keep trying to put me back in the corner. Y'all keep trying to put me back there with the graffiti. And so I had to prove to you that I could stay on point, I wouldn't be distracted, and I would be able to see the little baddies walking their little poodles, and I ain't even tripping about it. Ain't even a thing for me. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. Ain't nobody down there. Look, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Live stream tonight on After Hours. We're going to get into some heated discussions. And I got a couple of subjects. I might move something out and put some other stuff in. And then we'll talk about the Kendrick Lamar stuff and how much better Drake probably is once I hear the diss or whatever. But I love y'all. I appreciate you. No, I'm not moved further away from the window. I got my regular desk right here. And I haven't even hooked up my stream deck, so I'm doing everything from here. I got my regular desk right here. And then I got my... And I got my adjustable desk right here. And then after I get off of here, I'm going to be on my standing desk, making sure that I'm working. And then I got my other standing desk over there. It's the exact same desk that I got over there. And we kicking it. We running it. Y'all want to see what y'all self look like? Y'all want to see what y'all look like? Here, I'll show y'all what y'all look like. This is what y'all look like. This is what I'm streaming on. All right. Got the Mac Studio right here. Got my Fiji looking out the window. And we chilling. You know what I'm saying? We getting it in and we chilling. This is what I be looking at. Looking at y'all on the big screen. And I got my 75-inch right there. And I got a 75-inch back there. See all the way back there? 75-inch all the way back there. And then behind that wall is where I usually do the Millionaire Morning Show over there. Y'all want to put me back in the corner. Y'all want to put me back in the corner acting like I can't handle freedom, like I can't handle the windows. You know what I'm saying? We chilling. We having a good time. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience. Y'all want to see where the bedroom is? I'll show y'all where the bedroom is. See those doors right there? Ooh, that's where the bedroom is. Let me stop before y'all start saying, Anton be having these little chicks up in there. He be busting them down. No, I'm chilling. I'm having a good time. We kicking it with the people. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Now y'all know what I'm looking at and the big screen and all of that. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. See y'all on After Hours tonight. Oh, got to read a couple of the super chats before we get up out of here. Jason Statham says, props for continuing the show after that trash. Yeah, man, it's crazy, bro. We never know what we going to get. Life is like a box of chocolates. That's what my man said. Fucking Free says she's a yapper, but those DSLs are hypnotizing. Okay. Jamal Parks is in the building, says, she was way too relaxed. It must be nice. When I got reassigned to my job, I didn't sleep that night. Still have my same income benefits and etc., but she's just there. I don't know, man. Listen, I don't either. It's a whole nother environment. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for rocking out with me. And we're going to be right back at it tomorrow morning. But before that, we got to do After Hours tonight, and we're going to get it popping. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. Peace. Shout out to you, Jamal Parks, and shout out to everybody that hold me down. Make sure y'all join the Patreon tomorrow. Beginning of the month is the best time to join the Patreon. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.